Hello, welcome to this week's Song of the Week, which is Me and the Devil Blues by Robert Johnson. Now, there's a whole wealth of history you can look into about the blues, so do try and do that. I've given you a link on the worksheet of one website you can look at, but there's a whole rich history about the blues, and in particular where it came from, and the links to slavery and the blues. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the two performance tasks that you can do, which have been outlined for you on the worksheet. Now, the blues, to put it in a simple way, generally has the same three chords in the background in most blues songs, okay? And it did form the basis for a lot of rock and roll music, which again used the same three chords. Now, last week in the Song of the Week, I mentioned, actually, funnily enough, pretty much the same three chords, or these were mentioned in last week's video. So you can have a look back at that one to get a bit more information about chords, but I'm going to go through now how you play the blues chords. Now, in front of me here, I've got the what we call the 12-bar blues. You've got that on the sheet as well. And you'll see there's only three different chords in it. There's C, F and G. So just a reminder, if you're not sure how to play a chord, it is three notes. And you'll see that the three notes are separated by a note in between that you don't have to play. So that's the chord of C. It begins on a C. Okay, the chord of F begins on an F. Again, it's three notes with a note missing in between. And then that's the chord of G. Again, it starts on a G. You can play that pretty much anywhere on the keyboard or the piano, though I would suggest somewhere in the middle or lower, because remember, the chords are the background of the piece. They're not the main tune, okay? So those three chords. Now, it might take you a little while to practice the chords, and you can do them quite slowly. You can practice little sections. Let me just show you how you would go about starting to play this blues chord sequence that again forms the background of most blues pieces. So we're going to hold each chord for 4 counts. So we're going to go C, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, C, 2. Then on to F, F, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, back to C. Okay, and then you would go on to the last line as well. So you're going to hold each chord for 4 counts. Now, then when you're sort of quite confident with that, what you could try doing is practicing it with the backing track that, again, I've given you on the worksheet. So this is the backing track, and I'm going to play quite quietly in the background the chords so you can hear how it fits in. And the good thing with this backing track, it just keeps repeating over and over, so you can keep practicing the chords till you get them right, okay? Remember, it is the 12-bar blues, which means there's 12 chords in total, and then it just repeats over and over. You get a little 4-count introduction here, and then you can start. Okay, so I'll give you a little demonstration with the backing track. 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. C. Ready for the F. F, 2, 3, 4. F, back to C. Then last line, G. F. Then C, then the G, then you'd go back to the beginning. And as I say, you can just keep repeating those over and over again. Don't worry about the fact that on the backing track it mentions a C7 chord and an F7 chord. If you know what those chords are, then feel free to practice them. They're a bit more of a complex chord than what we're doing, so we can just do that more simple C, F and G. If you find that quite hard, and a lot of people do, you could even play it as a single note chord. So instead of playing the full 3 notes for the chord of C, you could actually just do it as a single C, and it would still fit. So if you're having trouble playing the 3 notes, you could just play 1 note. If you've got a guitar, you could play those chords on the guitar if you know where they are, or if you have a bass, you could play those notes on the bass as well, and that would all fit with the backing track. So that's the first task for you, to play the 12-bar blues chords. And then what I've given you is a little task to try and improvise a melody. Now, improvise just means make up on the spot. So you're going to make it up as you go along. We're not going to write anything down. I mean, you could do if you wanted to. If you made a little melody that you really liked, you could write it down. But improvisation, again, is a common feature of the blues. It just means that people would make up a tune on the spot. So a very simple level, and actually improvisation can be quite simple. You're going to just pick 1 or 2 notes from the keyboard or from whatever instrument you've got, And again, I've put these on the worksheet and there's a whole selection of notes to choose from. So the ones you can choose from, I'll just show you where they are on the keyboard, are C, E flat, which is a black note, F, F sharp, G, and B flat. So you've got a choice of white and black notes there. Now I'm just going to show you now how you could do a really simple improvisation just using one note. I'm going to try and make the rhythm quite jazzy, quite offbeat, okay? But at a very simple level, you could do it just on the beat. But you could try something a bit more interesting like. Maybe not the most interesting of tunes, but that is how you could start going about your improvisation. Once you're happy doing it on one note, why not add in a second or a third note? So I'll give you a little demonstration with C, E flat and F. Okay, again, I didn't know what I was going to play. I just made that up on the spot. If you're feeling particularly adventurous, you could then go and use some of the other notes that I've given you on the worksheet. So I'm going to leave that to you to work out by yourselves. The good news is there's no right or wrong answer with improvisation. Just for the blues, try and stick to those notes that I've given you. And just as a final little demonstration, I'll show you how that could then also fit with this blues backing track that you've got. Okay, so I'm going to play that. Remember, you've got your 4-count intro. And then I'm going to just make up a little improvisation. Probably again, just using 2 or 3 notes of the blues scale, which are those notes I've given you on the worksheet. Okay, here we go. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there you go. That's just an example of how to start and make an improvisation. So I hope you enjoy listening to the blues. There's plenty out there, more on YouTube if you're interested. There's plenty of reading you can do, and I hope you enjoy playing the blues chords and hopefully working out an improvisation too, an improvised melody. That would be great. See you next time.